Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neonmind's channel. Today, Rob and I would like to give insight into Neonmind itself, what they do, and where the company is going. But first off, Rob, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today.
Yes. Last video was great, diving into you and getting to know you. But yeah, let's get into the company here. Can we dive into the vision for Neonmind and share where the company is headed?
Yeah, sure, Michael. These are indeed very exciting times in the psychedelic space. There's a number of companies that have been coming into the market. The regulatory environment has improved. The frameworks to assess these substances it has been renewed, and there's a tremendous interest in seeing some of this research move forward. With respect to Neonmind, Neonmind is a research-driven organization focusing on two psilocybin programs that we have, looking at how they can have a positive effect on patients suffering with obesity or weight management.
Okay, that's interesting. As a lot of other companies are focusing more on the psychiatric aspects of psychedelics, it's interesting to see someone paving the way for obesity. So, what are some of the other ways you see psychedelics making their way into healthcare?
Yeah. So the thing about psychedelic substances, they've been around for many, many years. As you know, some of the synthetic substances have been around since the 1950s, and they occur naturally in nature obviously for thousands of years they've been around. We're only now beginning to understand the potential healing power for some of these substances. And what we've seen already is, a growing reputable body of evidence that demonstrates that some of these substances can have a tremendous impact on the way people think about themselves and how they think about themselves after certain, experiences with these substances. We've seen this growing body of evidence include, clinical trials and, early research that shows drug-enhanced psychotherapies can have a positive impact on people where they come away with a renewed sense of self. So at Neonmind Biosciences, what we're doing is we're trying to run both the traditional pharmacotherapy, so once daily medications type of thing. We're trying to run a program with psilocybin in that regard. So doctor prescribed, physician, pharmacist dispensed. At the same time, looking at how psilocybin might enhance psychotherapy rather, for patients that are suffering with obesity.
Okay. Interesting, Rob. So what makes now such a good time for all these companies to be diving into psychedelic research?
Yeah, because so now is, so it's always time is of the essence, right? The reality is the regulatory frameworks that will enable these products, potential products, to make it to market and ultimately be put off, made available to patients who suffer with different conditions. Those regulatory environments have been changing. They're changing because of the growing body of evidence that's out there. They're changing because there's been good files put in front of them. And when I say them, I mean the FDA or Health Canada. Good files put in front of these regulatory agencies that approve drugs in North America, whereby they look at them and they see that the safety and efficacy is in fact there, and they demonstrate that that an approval can be is warranted. And so because of these dynamics, we feel like this is the right time for research to advance, and this is quite common in pharmaceuticals in the sense that as new options for treating certain conditions arrive on the scene, additional companies would have other innovative ideas or other inventions begin to crowd in. An example would be the biologic market. So for so many years, the majority of pharmaceuticals that were out there were small molecules, taken orally, prescribed once daily for the most part. 20 years ago, we saw the arrival of the growth in the biologic market. So products and pharmaceutical products, that are of biologic in nature, and that was become an enormous advance in human health through a lot of the biologics that are available out there right now. And so that's no different in this situation when you can see and you can have a line of sight to an improved health outcome with a specific substance. What you find is more companies want to research them. There's more dollars that are available to research them, to pour in to find out, what improvements that they can make. And, as such, there ends up being a lot of wind in the sails of, research companies like ours.
Agreed. It's like the momentum for the industry has been building kind of rapidly since it started again. So then how does Neonmind really stand out, as there's a lot of these companies doing research into the field?
Right. And I think that Neonmind is uniquely positioned in the field of psychedelic research. it's uniquely positioned because we have a very specific indication that we're focused on. What we have found, and really our invention and our idea, is that these psychedelic substances can in fact have a positive impact in the area of obesity and weight management. And so unlike a lot of the other companies that are in the psychedelic industry who are focused on psychiatry indications like ADHD, or treatment-resistant depression or suicidal ideation, which are important indications, we're choosing to focus on weight management and obesity, which is a massive problem in North America and around the globe. That's the first thing that sets us apart. And I think the second thing that sets us apart is our intellectual property or our patent applications that have been filed. We've now filed 10 US provisional patents, and 2 of them have been converted to global patent applications, which gives us the potential to have a monopoly right granted at some point in the future in close to 150 countries, including the US. The claims that we make in our patent filings is to cover the methods of treating obesity and weight management with a variety of psychedelic substances. And that intellectual property really gives a company like us the runway to develop your product, to spend money on R&D, and to ultimately, have a chance to commercialize it and drive your revenue as your invention or your product gets out in the marketplace and patients begin to benefit from it.
All right, wonderful. And if anybody has any questions about any of that, don't be afraid to ask. We'll answer any of your guys' questions for you. Rob, is there anything else you want to offer people before we sign off?
No, just have a great day, Mike. Thanks again.
All right, thank you. And thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join the conversation. Have a wonderful day.